Hello, my name is Pete. This is Pete's CDs, a series where I am reinvigorating the lost art of listening to an actual CD, a physical CD. So in this series, we're listening to CDs from the 90s, the 2000s, and all sorts of different eras. But this is my collection, and today we are listening to this one, which is technically a single. It's 4 tracks. It's by The Living End, one of my favourite all-time bands. This is an Australian punk rock band. They were very big in the 90s, the early 2000s. This one is from 2002, and this has One Said to the Other, which is a single you're hearing right now. It has What Would You Do, it has Blinded, and it has Fond Farewell. So we are going to break this CD open, literally, because I've already broken it, as you can see here, and we're going to take a look at what you actually get in a CD, right? Let's just turn down our Living End folks there. So why am I doing this? Well, I love CDs, and I have a collection of over 1,000 CDs, and don't worry, we may not get to episode 1,000, but what I wanted to do is actually, I need to encode my CDs onto my computer, and at the same time I want to listen to them. So I've got the help of my little Samsung portable USB CD player here. I'm ripping these and encoding them. Don't tell anyone, especially EMI. Apparently they don't like me doing this. And we want to get these into my hard drive, but at the same time I'm going to check out, because you know what? With CDs you get things like this. These are liner notes, right? So I know people that are like into vinyl are like, yeah, we know, Pete. Vinyl has better liner notes and they're bigger. But like, these are cool, right? So you actually get to learn a little bit about the band. So there's the front cover as we whack the microphone. There's the back cover. We get to see what the band look like. We get to see red on black, which you can never really read. And if you look at the inside of this, you can see there, look, there's our Living End. You can see the little double bass there. We got our drum going on. We got some pictures this side of the boys there playing their things, and then we got some information here about the track. So, and you know what I love? I love this little logo down here. Look, they use, the good thing about this band, if you've not heard of The Living End, they're an amazing punk rock band from Australia. You can see here they got like a double bass going on, drums, guitar, vocals. So we'll talk a little bit more about them in a moment. But yeah, I just wanted to show you there that the liner notes are pretty cool. So here's the here's the front of this CD. You can see here also includes What Would You Do, as heard on Triple J. So Triple J was our, or still is, I think, sort of, our youth radio station here in Australia. Back in the 90s, everyone was big into Triple J, and that was pretty cool. This also says copy controlled. I love that they had a whole sticker here to tell you that EMI was serious about copy protection. Don't copy this CD. Little did they know that 20 years later, everyone would be just ripping, well, everyone would be streaming everything. So settle down, EMI, it's okay. And at the top here, look at that. You've got the, I bought this from The Muses. It was $5, or maybe I was a VIP and I got it for $4.65. I don't remember. I was probably a VIP because I bought a lot of CDs back in the day. Let's take a look here. So here's the back cover of our CD. There's the end of our first song. The next one is called What Would You Do? This is a great track. I'm breaching all sorts of copyright laws here. Not really. But yeah, this will pop up and it will say, oh, we found some songs in a YouTube video. That's okay. I don't mind. These are not for money. These are for me to show you some cool stuff. So look at this. The inside cover is that. You know what's funny about that? The inside cover was black, right? So we got to see that. I don't know why, but anyway, that cover looks like that. You can see there's our track titles. One Said to the Other, What Would You Do, Blinded, and Fond Farewell. There's The Living End. We got our barcode. We got everything going on there. Now this is a single. It's really an EP. It's got 4 tracks on it, so it's EP length. So I've got a big pile now. I've got a pile of plastic and paper over here. But you know, physical media. And again, I know cassette people and vinyl people are going to be saying, that's not physical media. This is physical media. But I love this, and I love The Living End. Let's talk a little bit about The Living End. Let's turn them down, even though this is a great song. And let's have a wee chat about The Living End, because I have jumped in and I have grabbed The Living End's Wikipedia page. So let's come over here and take a look. So here are the boys: Chris Chaney, Andy Strawn, and Scott Owen. So let's take a look. Here's Chris Chaney. He looks like this. Are we going to hover? Is it going to show us? There he is. There is Christopher John Chaney, a ridiculously good guitarist. Here we go. We're playing Blinded now. iTunes has flicked over. So Chris Chaney, really good guitarist, really good singer. He's our lead singer and lead guitarist of The Living End, or only guitarist. We've got Scott Owen here on the double bass. Look at that. Look at that man. A man with a giant double bass playing in a punk rock band. There's nothing better, right? And Andy Strachan, looks like, but I'm pretty sure you'd pronounce it Strawn. There you go. There is Andy playing some drums. So here is The Living End. So who were The Living End? They were a Australian, or they are, should I say. They're still ticking along. An Australian punk rock band formed in 1994. And since 2002, this is our lineup. So 2002 is this album. They hit the mark in 1998. So they had a double A-sided single, Second Solution and Prisoner of Society. I own that single, and I'll be playing that, no doubt, in this series at some stage because they are two very cool songs. If you don't know The Living End, go to your Spotify's, your Apple Music, your Google Plays, your iTunes, wherever, and search for The Living End because they are one of the best bands to ever come out of Australia. And again, this is the third track on an EP. This is a track called Blinded, and we're about to hear Fond Farewell, which is the last track on this 4-track single. So, 1998, they came along. I saw them a couple of times live back in Adelaide at, I can't remember because it was the 90s, Theberton Theatre maybe, or maybe the Adelaide Uni Bar. Again, can't remember. But you know what? I saw them again at one of the Day on the Green festivals, which is like our one of the festivals that we have here at a winery, where you see a bunch of old school bands, and for people like me that were 90s and early 2000s folks, 30 and 40 somethings, even 50 somethings maybe, we wanted to, you can go along to these gigs and you can see some old school bands playing along. So now it says here, as you're probably reading along, let's zoom in and take a look. That's too far, Pete. Don't zoom in so far. The ARIA Music Awards. So they've been nominated 27 times and have won 5, count them, 5 ARIA Awards. Now, ARIAs are kind of like our Grammys. So if you're in the US or if you're somewhere else, or what's the British Music Award? I don't know. Anyway, they're like our big deal for Australian artists. So The Living End are an amazing Australian artist. And in fact, let's take a listen to a little bit of The Living End here playing their song Blinded. So, The Living End, they had some great albums back in the day. White Noise in 2008, The Ending is Just the Beginning, repeating 2011. I'm reading from their Wikipedia page, as you can hear. So this is the last track on this EP, which is called Fond Farewell, not surprisingly, and quite fittingly. So it sounds like this. So there you go. EMI can now go, yes, we've got you, Pete. We know what you're playing. You're playing The Living End. Well, I am, because they are awesome. Now, I can't remember if I said this earlier, but I actually saw Chris Chaney play, and he actually played in a concert called the White Album Concert. So I saw it here at the Festival Theatre here in Adelaide. He played with 3 other amazing Australian musicians. So he played with Tim Rogers, he played with Josh Pike, and he played with Phil Jamieson from Grinspoon. And you can bet your bottom dollar that those 3 artists will be featured here on Pete's CDs in the coming weeks and months, because they are some exceptionally good Australian artists. And if you are from Australia, you know who they are. So UMI, Grinspoon, and Josh Pike had a solo career. I saw Josh Pike play live. He is amazing. And Chris Chaney, ridiculously good guitarist, great singer. Living End. Let's just take another listen to them before we finish off here. There you go. I'm getting all choked up. No, I'm not. I'm just running out of voice. So that was Fond Farewell. That was track 4. This has been The Living End. This is their CD single, One Said to the Other. 4 tracks, only lasts about 10 minutes. It's amazing. I'm running out of voice. You can tell I'm getting emotional, but The Living End, if you have not checked those out, go to whatever streaming platform that you can and search for The Living End. You will be pleasantly surprised, or maybe not surprised. You've heard them here. Just go and listen to them.